People engaged, it's time for Dueling Decades. The Matrix and Blade versus Bloodsport and Renegade. Strap on that cap, bust out the power glove. Come fight for what you love.
Dueling Decades.
Poop culture, popping pins, dropping hand grenades. Van Halen locked in Mortal Kombat with David Gray. Banner Ballet and Sick, Iron Maiden, GNR. Come fight for what you love.
Dueling Decades.
We have a three-way fucking tie going into the 2-point round. This is craziness. I don't even know what the fuck we're supposed to do if we end in a tie. Actually, we won't end in a tie. $10,000 worth. All right, Mike, you control the board. 2-point round. Really doesn't matter at this point. Whatever two you got left, go for it.
All right, I'm going to go with TV. All right, so in September 1994, Mega Man, the animated series, began first-run syndication in the U.S. and ran for 2 seasons and 27 episodes. The series was modeled after the popular video game series and follows Dr. Light and Mega Man as they battle Dr. Wily and his evil robots. At one time, it was the -- 1 weekly syndicated children's show in the Nielsen ratings. This is a much cooler Mega Man than we get in the Captain N and the Game Master series. It ran for 2 years. It would have went for a 3rd season, but there was some budget constraints. I think they were spending about $300,000 per episode. But yeah, Mega Man, the TV series.
It only lasted 2 seasons. That must have been a turd. All right, so what's your second one?
All right, my second one is, remember Mutant League Football and Mutant League Hockey on the Sega Genesis?
Nope.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, how about the animated series that ran from July 2nd, 94 to February
July 3rd,
1996? It ran till 96. It had a good run. The show had 2 seasons and 40 episodes. The premise of the show was during a football game, an earthquake releases toxic fumes, mutating the players into unsportsmanlike mutants and battle for the Mutant League Championship. The game's actually pretty fucking cool. I don't remember this show at all, but yeah, it's a thing.
It sounds cool, though. The premise of the game sounds cool, but it sounds like they just made it a turd. And how can you make that? That was a kid's cartoon, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it's just not very interesting. The game's fucking awesome, but the
and what did that come out for?
This was a Genesis game.
Okay. All right. So some interesting picks there. Nothing good, but interesting.
All right.
You're up.
I lucked out with television as far as 99 and video games are concerned. And there's one particular show that spawned 2 video games in 1999, pretty close to one another. And that is South Park, which has been around forever. One of those 2 games that I'm going with is December 13th, 1999, saw the release of South Park Rally, which essentially is Mario Kart with South Park characters. The mayor of South Park has decided to stage a big rally series that's going to take place like through the town, on the outskirts of town. That's kind of the premise behind the game. So you get, your favorite characters, and you can, do the whole, like I said, Mario Kart premise. Essentially, you just try to destroy people. You have mini Porsches, you got police cars, big gay owl buggies, Jeeps, lots of other stuff. Characters who appear in power-up form include Mr. Hanky, Saddam Hussein, the Underpants Gnomes, and Kitty. So you get like a championship mode, an arcade mode, multiplayer mode. So mostly negative reviews, as most South Park games tend to have. But, I guess it's...
it ties into television.
Yeah. And then the second game is South Park Chef's Love Shack, which is a 2D game show style party video game, obviously based off the television show. This was released October 31st, 1999. Its gameplay involves playing mini games and the ability to play against other players in a challenge for the most points. So it's essentially kind of like a trivia game. It's like You Don't Know Jack invaded by South Park, if you remember those games, which were pretty fantastic, by the way. So you get to be one of the 4 main characters from the show: Eric, Kenny, Kyle, Stan. So it switches between questions and little mini games like throughout the game, with a mini game ahead of every 3 questions. So you score points, obviously, by answering questions and, your mini game ranking and all that shit. So mixed to negative reviews for this one too. It just must be like a South Park video game thing. But there you go. South Park Chef's Love Shack and South Park Rally both released not too distant from each other in 1999.
Damn, that must have been a big South Park year to get 2 games.
I think the show started in 97, 98, so it was kind of like right at the fever pitch of, like something new and exciting as far as cartoons. Moreover, like adult oriented cartoons too. That was a really big deal, it felt like, when South Park came out.
All right. And everyone at home needs to really realize that when you go into specifics like TV and movies and music, you're not going to get the best shit. You just got to go with what makes the most sense. And all 4 of the ones we've heard so far sound pretty shitty, but they're all TV related.
They're all relevant.
And video game related. They are all relevant. They all make sense. So this is tough right now. So either Mark's going to like blow it out of the water
or
with some amazing shit, or he's going to deliver 2 more pieces of shit, and my decision is going to be fucking atrocious.
All right. Well, in 1989, we saw the debut of 2 television series that were directly video game related. They debuted on the Fox network. The first one Mike already mentioned, and that's Captain N, the Game Master. Kevin Keene, a teenager from Northridge, California, is brought to another universe known as Videoland along with his dog Duke to defeat the evil villainous Mother Brain. Now, this was really the first time that an entire series was built around an entire brand of a company. Before, it always had been other television shows and other properties that were kind of one-offs. Much like my second entry, which is the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which also debuted in 1989, featuring Lou Albano as Mario and Danny Wells as Luigi. The pilot episode actually has Nicole Eggert in it. She's fantastic in that. But the Super Mario Brothers Super Show lasted 65 episodes. I know I watched a ton of this when I was a kid, and then immediately following it after this was Captain N, the Game Master, my other pick. Both of them had moderate success. They were reruns very, very heavy. Matter of fact, in the later reruns, they swapped out some of the soundtracks and some of the music for some of the later music that was released once Super Mario Brothers 3 came out. But yeah, Captain N, the Game Master in Super Mario Brothers, the Super Show, 1989.
All right, 2 things. 1, anytime Mark makes a pick, he sucks that pick's dick.
Until
he loved
completion.
It was his favorite. It was the best thing ever. Yeah, I spent my days after school playing this.
Hey, no, I didn't say it wasn't the best show ever, but I actually did fucking watch this show. I remember watching
your virginity to watching Captain Lou Albano, whether it was on Super Mario Brothers or in a ring. You didn't live your life correctly.
That's right. Wearing rubber bands around your cock.
Yeah, it wasn't Lou Albano for me. It was Hillbilly Jim.
Absolutely.
But he was actually there. Another story for another day. Anyway.
I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to go with 89 for the sheer fact that you had Mario Brothers in your... The South Park one, I wish you had like South Park and something else. The fact that you had 2 South Parks and the shows, the games were kind of shitty. It doesn't really compete with Super Mario. And then Mike, yours were just, even to your own admission, were just not very good.
Well,
So,
no, Mega Man.
I'm going to have to go with 89. Oh, I forgot. You did have Mega. Go with Mario.
No,
Brothers,
no, but Mark's got Captain N, and that's fucking just great.
Dueling Decades.